say we huddle up?
Let's huddle up.
Let's huddle up, man.
Who do we got here today?
Dude, we got a stud with us today. A stud. All the way from the south, from Nashville, Tennessee.
Born and raised in Missouri.
But he's a Kansas City kid.
Damn right.
And what's this guy's name?
Why don't you tell us?
My name is Roman Alexander.
Is that your real name?
Alejandro. My middle name's Alexander. My last name is actually Rojas. So,
Rojas.
yeah,
Rojas.
Yeah. So Roman Alexander Rojas.
So Roman Alexander, country star from Nashville. Flew all the way in to hang out with a couple of idiots today.
Hey, I'm a fan. You know, I'm an idiot too, so it's okay.
It kind of works out that way.
But you want to know how I know this guy doesn't mess around?
Why's that?
He has a tattoo on his forearm that says, "Here for a good time."
Not a long time.
I love it.
I ain't here for a good time. That ain't it. Is that embarrassing
What?
that I just sang like that?
No.
You know I sound just like Brooks and Dunn.
There's a few country singers that I think you could still out-sing. You know?
Really?
I don't know who they are, but
It's all about it's all about marketing, right?
marketing, you know.
Right, you could be terrible and
I'm one of those guys, you know.
No,
Maybe
you're
the
not.
marketing is just a little too good. You
No,
know?
you're not. All right, man. So you grew up in Kansas City.
That's right.
North of the river, right?
Yeah. Parkville originally is where
Okay.
I'm from. Yeah. So, yeah, good time.
So you're from Parkville, and you went. Where did you go to high school at?
I graduated from Park Hill South, so
Okay.
right there in Riverside. You know, 10 minutes from where I grew up. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So when did you find your love for music?
So my uncle has a band called Outlaw Jim and the Whiskey Benders, and so I played all over open mics doing stuff with him, and he kind of got me into guitar. He went with my mom to buy my first guitar, and I got my first guitar when I was 8 years old, and so just kind of started playing, you know, country covers, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, and got involved with that, and you know, the typical story of how every country singer gets started, you know, singing those songs from those classics, and but you know, my first real love came for it whenever I got into high school. And I realized girls like country music.
You know what I noticed? Yeah, if you have a guitar in your hand,
Yeah.
you could be like a 2 out of 10. You're automatically like a 7 or an 8.
I always say it's crazy what 3 feet of elevation and a mic stand do.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an ugly motherfucker, and I used to play guitar in college, and you'd be amazed.
Is that how you met your wife?
No, I didn't. No.
So wait a second. Hold on. You're telling me you guys learned how to play guitar and sing a tune? I sound like fucking Ronnie Dunn, and my wife thinks I sound like shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. I don't know if I'd go Ronnie Dunn.
Is that your definition of, like, you think you sound like Ronnie Dunn? Or does
When the
everybody
sun
else think
goes down on my side of town,
Honestly, it's not that far off.
lonesome feeling comes through my door, and the whole world turns.
It's not that bad.
It's not if you're like 15 to 17 beers deep, it doesn't sound that bad.
Blue.
Now, if I tilt my head sideways and hold my hand like that.
It's that bad?
No, it's not bad. It's good. It's good.
It's
So you
not
put
bad.
you put me on landscape versus portrait. 'Cause I'm fat as fuck.
No, you're not. No.
I love it. Well, anyway, so all right, you're a Kansas City kid,
Yeah.
Park Hill. Did you go to Nashville right out of high school?
Yeah, I graduated high school in 2015 and left right after.
So there was no thought of anything else. You knew you were going to Nashville.
Well, I scored a 98 on my ASVAB entrance exam for the military, and
No shit.
my sister, who's here, she was a Marine Corps veteran, and she's a first responder right now, and so I was like, I'm gonna follow my sister's footsteps. You know, I come from a big military family, but the Marine Corps recruiter called my mom and said, "Hey, your son scored really high on the ASVAB," and she hung up on him and never told me that I scored high on the ASVAB.
Get out of here.
So, you know, our recruiters kept calling me. I was like, nah, I'm not going to answer. I want to go to Nashville. I'm going to Nashville. I'm going to go to Nashville. And so that's what I did. Next thing you know, I ended up in Nashville and was washing cars.
So I mean, you started from the bottom.
Yeah. I started, you know, the typical sob story in Nashville, sleep in your car, eat rice and beans and rice, the whole Dave Ramsey method, you know, and then it's moved into, I got a gig selling T-shirts for a band called Shenandoah, 2 Dozen Roses.
Oh.
Yeah.
My heart fluttered.
Yeah. So those are good guys. I still talk to them.
Church
and
on
I love
Cumberland
them.
Road.
That's
Hell yeah.
right. That's my favorite Shenandoah song.
No doubt.
But I spent a lot of time with them. I was on the road with them for a year, and then I moved to Jody Messina.
Okay.
And then I went from Jody Messina to Easton Corbin, and Easton Corbin's kind of where I got jealous watching him go on stage every night, and I was like, I started making, you know, acoustic videos up on stage, or on the tour bus while he was up on stage. I'd go back and like make acoustic videos, post it on Instagram. That got some momentum, got some things.
So you're telling me
going.
you literally started as a merch guy.
Yeah.
You were like selling merch for Easton Corbin.
So Cole Swindell started by selling merch for Luke Bryan. That's like the famous story. Well, we worked for the same merch company. And so people always told me stories about how Cole Swindell got started doing that. And I was like, well, heck, if he can do it, I can do it too. And so it kind of followed in that same path.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though.
I got my publishing deal while I was in Tampa, Florida, at Amalie Arena. Easton was opening up for Jake Owen, and I was selling T-shirts, and I had been posting these acoustic videos, and I had one go viral, kind of. And the owner of the publishing company and label I'm on, she said, "Hey, I want to offer you a record deal," and I was like, "I'll talk to you. We'll talk later." I got back in town, and 2 weeks later I was signed and signed my first publishing deal. And next thing you know, I quit and started writing songs for a living.
Are you still with the same company?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And how long has that been?
5.5, almost 6 years.
Okay.
So, you know, this has been my professional job for 5.5 years, and it still feels like a hobby to me. I still wake up and get to do what I love every day. You know.
So where was your? I feel like everybody has like their big moment or their big break where things took off.
Yeah.
Like where was your big moment, I guess, or was there a song that came out?
I'm always chasing the big. Everybody's, the big moment. No matter how big you get, you're always chasing a bigger moment, right? But to put it in perspective, when the world shut down in 2019, my life started. I started putting out music. Well, everybody was like, "Wait, don't put out music." I was like, "Screw it, I'm gonna put out."
That's
music.
a perfect time to do it, though, because everybody's glued to their phone.
Everyone's at home
nothing
on their
to
phone.
do.
So I posted a song. I recorded a song and put it out called "Cocktail Conversations."
Yeah, I've heard that one. It's a
Love
good
that
one.
song.
And that song popped off for me, and that kind of got me started. And then 2 months later, I released my debut EP, which is called "Between You and Me," which is a song.
How did you with Ashley Cook?
Yeah, so I started with my original version first, and Ashley had always been a great friend of mine, and she had a TikTok following. I didn't at the time, but I had a Spotify following. She hadn't really put out any music yet, so I was like, this would be a perfect trade-off to really, like, I'll get her fans and she'll get my fans, and we strategically kind of put it together. So the song alone had already had 12 million streams by itself, and then I put the Ashley Cook version, and that took it to the stratosphere.
Yeah, you got like what? It's some crazy amount of views.
I think total over 100 million streams.
Wow!
So.
Congratulations.
100 million streams.
Yeah, right about. Yeah.
Jesus.
You just got ice, brother.
Fuck off.
Oh my God.
You got to do it.
You got to do it.
That
You gotta
is
do it, dude.
100 million views. That's a lot of views.
You got to get ice, dude.
Get on your knees, baby.
You got Roman
Dude.
says do it. You have to do it.
I did legs today. I can't get.
Well,
on my
I see
knees.
you got to scrape on your knee. What have you been doing?
Dude, don't even. This is a good time to bring it up.
You know what?
This is a good time to
This
bring
has
it up.
not been brought up yet, and there is video out there of what
Fuck
happened.
me.
Oh God, that's kind of.
So my friend Caleb and I, we went and got Mexican food. Our families did. What day was that? Monday.
That would be on Monday.
So we're about to leave, and
Got some tacos.
Caleb's, he still thinks he's in his college days.
Now hold on. Listen, this is fabricated.
No.
He looked at me. Our kids were racing up and down the sidewalk, and he goes, "How fast do you think you can run this stretch of sidewalk?" And so I did the math. They were sections of concrete. They were 5 foot wide. Okay, so I did the math. It was 15 yards. It was a 15-yard run. Okay, I played college. I played football at Kansas State. Okay, 15-yard run is what I'm typically used to every play. He says, "How fast can you run this?" I said, "I don't know, but fucking faster than you."
And
So
I will say, the strangers in the parking lot, we said, "Where are you going to put your money?" They put it on me.
Oh, they bet the house on him, dude. He was at minus 1 million.
I was minus. I think it was minus 1,200.
He didn't even say yes, Roman. He emptied his pockets and put it in the fucking mulch in the landscaping.
And then you ran,
Not very far.
And then hold on.
and then you fell.
We found a crack.
See, got a little there.
We found a crack. And he looked at me and goes, "You call it." And I said, "On your mark, get set."
Let's keep-
son of a
all
bitch.
right.
Son of a bitch is basically D4'd and jumped off sides.
Let's keep in mind it was wet out.
Okay.
Didn't have the right
fucking
shoes.
D4. I don't care. The discipline to stay on sides is important.
Bullshit.
And you jumped.
that.
And I'm a fucking Peterbilt, and I put it in second gear. And what'd you do?
I felt like a little bit.
And so,
This fucking.
who won money on you?
He's a Mack truck right there.
I'm a fucking
Damn right.
Peterbilt pulling a 53-foot fucking reefer full of Herzog beef, baby.
Mack truck.
Listen,
Mack truck.
listen. His fucking head got over his feet, and he started fucking pulling the Michael Phelps in the middle of the asphalt parking lot. he went face first, and I'm in second gear, and he rolls in the goddamn water puddle, and all of a sudden I see his face go, "Oh no!"
And my whole family had to watch it. My 2 kids.
That's all right.
You
And,
know?
You know, that's okay.
It was a learning experience.
Yeah, everything's a learning
So
experience.
then my wife got mad because I did not stop. You know, you see all these Instagram videos like, that's the, you know, look at this amazing person. They stopped and helped this person that tripped over the hurdle.
I thought we were friends.
Well,
honestly.
my dad taught me when
No
you are in a
mercy.
race,
No
it's
mercy.
it's no mercy.
Yeah.
You look ahead, and always ahead, always forward. Okay. I looked to the side. I couldn't stop. I had to go. So,
All right. Well, enough with us.
Hey,
Let's talk about Roman.
no. Honestly, I love hearing stories.
So between you and me came out. That was
Yeah.
a big hit for you, right?
Yeah,
Huge
it was.
hit.
It was great. I'm very very blessed for that.
So take us through kind of your timeline.
Yeah,
right?
so let's jump forward. That song came out, and I got offered a record deal from a major label. I won't say which label, but I got offered a major record deal.
is that like stuff that you can't disclose that?
I can. It's just it didn't end great. You know, they changed their mind
Okay,
last
gotcha.
minute. You know, and it had to do with just politics and that kind of moment struck a chord with me because I'm like I had such a high moment. I had such a big moment, and you know, it was on the Spotify Hot Country playlist for 10.5 months. You know, that's a long time to be on a playlist.
Yeah, even I mean, everybody we told everybody, hey, Roman Alexander's coming on. Some people knew who you were, some people didn't. But the people that didn't know your name, as soon as I played that song, like, oh hell yeah, I've heard that song.
I'm very fortunate for that song. I will tell you this though, you know, you get your teeth kicked in. It's a music industry. Any business, you're gonna have.
It's cutthroat.
And it's a stock market. You know, it's like you're taking these big risks. You get these big jumps, and then
It's
you know,
it's volatile, right?
It's very volatile, and you know, I always say like it's got a great market cap on it. You know, and then sometimes it gets kicked out from under you, and it's your job to build it back up.
Well,
and,
and I think a lot of people probably don't realize it's a business like anything. Like you're running a business,
well,
right?
people the thing is with social media is you see the good, right? You only see the good. The people that you see that have the good are also having bad too. They just don't post about it.
Right.
And so it was great. I'm still doing great. It's just, you know, I had to. It was a moment I was able to go back in time and like be like, I want to figure out how I want. Jeez Louise.
that's a drone.
I want to figure out how I want to recreate and reinvent my music, and so I kind of gone back to the drawing board, and I just started releasing music more frequently and more often, and just as much as I wanted to, and that right there built more fans because I think not putting out music's gonna keep you kind of stagnant, and people want to hear music these days. People consume music so fast, you got to have music coming out.
So has social media been kind of your bread and butter as far as marketing goes?
You know,
marketing
it
yourself?
has. I didn't want to like TikTok, and nobody wanted to like TikTok.
No,
you know,
No.
And until it works for you, and you're like, okay, if you learn how to make it your own and work for you, it's gonna work out great for you. So, you know.
Well, our business is a lot. I mean, social media is huge for us, but
Huge.
it's a lot different. Ours is so like localized, right?
Yeah.
All we really need to market to is people that are here in Kansas City, because people in California or like Georgia aren't buying houses here. But for you, like TikTok, you want to just reach probably as broad of an audience as you can.
Yeah, well, and every time you post, I always try to have the mindset you're one song away from a song that could potentially change your whole life and career. And I'm also thinking longevity-wise, like I want to have a family one day, you know, and I want to be able to change their life. And I had a great upbringing. Parents didn't have a lot of money by any means, but I want my children to understand how hard the sacrifice is, but not have to like worry about that, you know.
But isn't that true? Like you literally are one post away and one song clip away from changing your whole life.
Yeah.
And like to a lot of people that may build anxiety, right? Like, is this right? Am I posting this right? Am I saying this right stuff? But you just have to go on with confidence, don't you?
Well, there's a way to look at it, and I always say you can't be afraid to fail.
That's right.
If you want to succeed, you're going to have to learn to fail.
That's any business, right?
Any business,
Yeah.
whether it's sports, whether it's real estate, whether it's any kind of startup, whether it's freaking H&R Block, I don't care. You're going to have to learn to fail until you succeed.
You got to fail forward, baby.
That's it. And you got to learn from your mistakes and not harp on them.
But you got to be willing to take the risk and put yourself out there.
That's the thing is I've learned a lot of people these days are afraid of risk. And if it scares you, you probably should do it. You know?
100%.
I'm a firm believer in that.
I think things that make you uncomfortable make you grow.
Exactly.
So I've got to ask.
If you're not putting yourself in uncomfortable positions,
Every day
you're
I
not
try to
growing.
do something. Thank you. Every day I try to do something that makes me uncomfortable.
I've got to ask you this. It's been on my mind for many different music artists.
Yeah.
Because you write a lot of you write all your own music.
I don't.
You don't?
I write probably 98% of it, but that 2% I cut outside songs. I'm all about cutting the best song, recording the best song, and you know, I want to make sure that whatever I put out is going to resonate with people. So if I feel like something that I didn't write resonates with people or might resonate with my fan base better than something I can do, I'm going to put out that song.
But even when you do write, I've got to know, like, where do a lot of music artists, like, they have a specific point. Like, a lot of the guys are on the bus, that's where they write, right? Do you have that, like, spot where you're like, you know what? It's time for me to sit down. It's time for me to get real. Like, what is
gets
that?
you in the zone?
Right.
So Nashville's really interesting. There's a thing called co-writing, and so usually you have the artist, you have a top liner, a writer, and you have a guy who builds the track, who can build the demo, and you know, kind of the producer in the room. And so you collaborate. So really, honestly, for me, it's like I'll come up with the ideas. Sometimes I'll come in with an inspiration, or like I'll be like, hey, help me put these words on paper. You know, so I'll write it with 2 other guys. And they basically, their job is to take my idea and put it down on paper for me and really kind of help articulate the idea and turn it into something. And so my ideal writing spot that I create the best music at for me personally is just with my buddies.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm with my friends, I'm collaborating, because if I do it by myself, I'm going to overthink it. I'm an overthinker.
Right.
I'm an overachiever. So I'm going to try to overshoot it, and sometimes I fail that way. And sometimes having your friends there kind of be like, hey, consumer-wise, you know, I wouldn't say this. And my fan base is mostly female. So having a girl in the room, usually a girl writer, a female writer is always very helpful. And there's so many amazing female writers in Nashville. They're like, hey, a female fan base would want to hear this. I think this would be really good to put it in, you know, this way.
Yeah.
blah,
Plus,
blah,
if you're
blah.
around your buddies, you're going to be comfortable. You're going to be
shooting the shit,
You're not
man.
going to feel tense.
No, you're shooting the shit because they know you. So you can't really bullshit your friends. They know you.
Exactly.
So you're going to get the most authentic version of yourself.
So we're salespeople.
Uh-huh.
And they always say to be a great sales, most of the sales don't happen because you never ask for the sale, right?
Just, you make them feel comfortable.
And so I'm going to ask you for a sale.
Yeah.
Can you write a song for the Huddle podcast?
You know, do you want to? It's a 33.33% split 3 ways. It's a 3-way ride. That's what I usually do. So yeah,
That's not a bad deal. You know, I never realized when you go on Spotify. I just learned this the other day when I was hanging out with some buddies. Is that you can like click the song and it'll show you every single person that had something to do with writing. It'll be like
guitar, mixing, producing.
there was like you go look at there's like
drums.
15 people listed.
Yeah.
So I just want to be like the 15th person on one of your songs. I don't even need to be up at the top.
Can I be the 16th?
I don't know how much money you'll get from it.
I don't even need.
I don't want any
need-
money.
I don't need a dime.
Listen, we just want a damn theme song to start the fucking podcast. And we want you to get fucking big on the podcast.
That actually would be kind of sick.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Just to do like a quick intro thing.
Listen, I'm buddies with Logan Mize.
Yeah.
And I haven't even had Logan Mize on. You're our first artist.
I love Logan, dude. Okay, so funny thing about Logan Mize, when I used to play in Lawrence, Kansas.
Oh, yeah.
I used to
Oh,
play the
yeah.
Granada
Heard of
Theater
that.
Oh, yeah.
there. And I opened up for him a few times, and he used to roll around in this school bus looking thing.
Yeah.
And he's just, you know what the thing about Logan is he built an underground loyal fan base, and he'll be able to tour off of for the rest of his life. And that guy just hustles, and he's not afraid to just try different things.
And he seems like an authentic dude.
He's
Bro,
a true artist. He's
An
a true artist.
underground fan list.
Yeah.
That dude would be in Manhattan, Kansas with us at Country Stampede.
Yeah, I did that too. That was great.
You did Country Stampede,
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah.
I played the Jesse James Moonshine stage.
Yeah.
And it was not even the main stage. It wasn't even close to the main stage. It wasn't even near the main stage. It was a little party outlet.
It was like the D stage.
It was not. It was probably the Z stage.
It's right. It's
Yeah.
right next to the VIP tent.
Yeah, it was great, man. Yeah.
But it doesn't matter if you're on the main stage or the Z stage. Those people in Manhattan, Kansas, love one thing and one thing alone.
country music.
It's country music.
But I was still
And
living in Kansas
drinking
City.
beer.
And drinking beer, and you know, and honestly, when you're a single guy, because I played country. They don't do it. I don't think they do Country Stampede anymore, right?
they moved it to Topeka, but Heartland Park.
I thought it was Bonner Springs.
No, well, they're moving it now
remember
again
it
to
was-
Bonner Springs.
It was Kicker Country Stampede, and I was still living in Kansas City, so I was even out of high school yet when I played it the last time. But man, that was that's where I met the Old Dominion guys. That's
Yeah.
where I first met those guys, and I've been on the road with those dudes, and they're, I mean, I've written songs with a lot of those guys in that group, and that was like, it was cool to be able to be like, I saw them when they hadn't even had a hit yet.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, they're last night they won their 7th ACM award.
That's wild.
Pretty
So is
wild.
it really,
Crazy.
truly? I mean, the perception that people have of like these country artists is that it's just a fucking party.
Yeah,
Is that really how it is behind the scenes, or is some of that just kind of a show?
So I did a college tour a few years ago.
Yeah.
I did mostly like SEC schools, and I even did some Big Ten schools, and that was it's a party, and it's all, you got to be healthy though. I mean, I take fitness pretty seriously in my life.
Oh, dude, you're jacked.
I'm not jacked by any means, but
He looks good.
I take good care of myself.
90% of people in America, you're in damn good shape.
But you just told us that your main following base is women, so you gotta keep your stature.
You do, but at the same time, it's like, if you're not healthy yourself, you're not going to be mentally healthy. If you're not physically healthy, your mental health is going to decline a little bit. And so it's, keeping yourself in check with that and making sure you're eating the right foods. And you're, to a degree, I consider myself an athlete because I'm out on stage. I'm burning 1,300 calories when I'm out on stage. That's a lot of calories to sweat,
Yeah, I guess it's like people, it's like, oh, a NASCAR driver's not an athlete, people. But it's like the same thing. Like,
I did a heart rate monitor one time on my show. I played PBR in Kansas City.
Oh, nice.
And I did a heart rate monitor, the one you strap to your chest.
Oh, yeah.
And my average heart rate was 125 beats per minute when I was 125 BPM while I was up on stage. And that's just average. So depending on the song and you're running around, you're moving around. I got in the crowd. It's hot. You're sweating. You're wearing all black. You're wearing, you unbutton your shirt just a little bit, show off the taco meat.
Let the meat out, baby.
Yeah, dude. And I think I was my highest, I think, was like 170. So I mean, I'm putting out a full workout up there.
Yeah.
That's some hit training right there.
It is. But you know what? I love it. It's fun.
You probably get a shitload of adrenaline when you're up there.
You do, so you don't even realize how much you're sweating.
Does it just seem like a dream when you're up there? Like,
it depends. I gotta be honest with you.
Or you're kind of just used to it at this point.
I love the college shows because the crowd is so. For instance, there's a place in Ohio called Brick Street, and this will actually make a good clip here. There's a place called Brick Street in Oxford, Ohio, and it is by far the best college venue in the whole entire country. I think they have been voted the best.
Shout out.
So many country artists got their start there, and when I played Brick Street, I walked on stage. There was like 900 people, and then 1,100 people, and they were over capacity.
What college is that?
University of Miami, Ohio.
Oh,
Miami of Ohio.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, those people look so forward to. They just love country music. We were talking about they just love country music.
Yep.
College girls love country music. College guys love country music. They love discovering something. They love being a part of a movement. And so that was really cool to go up there because when I went out there, I didn't think anybody was going to know my songs. And this is when I had a popular song, And so things were great. And I walked out there and they knew every single word to even like the B-side songs. So that right there was just like, okay, this is the coolest job in the entire world.
That's badass.
I wouldn't change it for a thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
And a feeling like that has to give a guy all kinds of confidence, right? To continue on, write new music.
It's like, now I know why I did this.
It's validation. It's like, okay, I put in the 10 years of blood, sweat, and literal tears and blood, literal blood to do this. Well, you're playing guitar night after night, and you're in the gym, you're taking care of yourself, you're doing whatever you take, because I don't know what the percentage is, but a lot of artists thousands of people move to Nashville to become a country singer, and 0.001% get that chance to actually go on tour and take that shot, and you miss 100%. Wayne Gretzky said it. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yep.
And so I'm all about just taking the shot. I don't know if it'll work or not. I don't know if it's going to do any good or not, but I don't want to look back in 10 years and be like, man, I wish I would have done that.
Yeah, I love it.
This is a perfect time to bring this up because you just said 0.001% of the people will actually make it. Mm-hmm. And that reminds me a lot of college athletics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Mm-hmm. You wrote a massive song for a college football team.
That's how I found you, man.
Yeah. I remember when you reached out. And
I'm a diehard, went to Mizzou, graduated, diehard Mizzou fan.
So I'll tell you a funny story about that song.
Yeah, I'd love to hear how that came about.
So I went into 3 different rooms to write a song, right? And I went in and I said, hey, I want to write a song for Mizzou. And every single time they would be like, nobody cares about Mizzou. This is before the season started. This is a year before.
Yeah.
So Mizzou had a kind of a rough patch, right?
Dude, you couldn't have released that shit at a better time.
Right. It was the perfect time. And there's a guy at Mizzou named Tony Daniel and Mari Bland, and they're great guys. Tony was the one I sent it to first because I remember I reached out to him years before, and he got me like a couple basketball tickets to a game or something like that. You know, good dude, become a good friend of mine, and I was like, hey, I have this demo. I wrote a song. I wrote the Mizzou song, and my team was like, first off, no, we're not releasing a song about Mizzou. Nobody, that's not your market. Nobody cares about that. And it wasn't like an automatic no. It was just like, it doesn't make sense. And honestly, it didn't make sense. And then the guys I wrote it with, actually one of the writers who's a hit writer, is from Kansas, you know, or no, he's from Missouri. He's from you know, somewhere out in Missouri. I don't know.
Yeah.
The other guy's from Iowa, so his colors are black and gold. You know. So
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, this might be the perfect time. You got a Mizzou fan, and an Iowa fan. You're the Midwest. You know, you're from the Midwest, so like Midwestern boys in general writing this song. So I wrote the song. I turned it in to my publisher, and he was like, he's from Missouri too. He's from Poplar Bluff, and he was like, man, I don't know, dude. I don't know how I feel about that. And I was like, just sit on it. There's never been a song about Mizzou. You would think that every SEC school has a freaking college song, right?
Yes.
Mizzou didn't have one, and I was like, I could lead that movement. I've always loved Mizzou football. I've been a Mizzou football fan since I was born.
You've got it on your arm right there, MIZ.
So that being said,
That's sick.
so I wrote the song, and my team said no. So I went to the tattoo shop, and I went and I got MIZ tattooed on my arm, and I was like, if this doesn't show you how committed I am to putting out this song, I don't know what to tell you. So I teased it on TikTok,
I remember.
and it popped off, and then I sent it to, well, it started up because Tony, the guy from Mizzou, I think he's director of marketing there, and he put the song up on the Mizzou football, you know, Instagram page. That popped off, and it popped off on TikTok, and next thing you know, I'm getting calls from the athletic director's department, whatever, the athletic department, and they're like, hey, we want to make this our song. So every home game, twice a game, they play the song, and it was honestly, like, I've had some amazing moments. I've had a radio single with Dustin Lynch. I've had, you know, I've had my highs, and there was really no better high than like I'm so proud of the state of Missouri. I love Missouri. I'm a diehard Missouri fan. I think the Midwest makes the best people, and it was kind of an emotional moment for me because it's a college I love. I never even went to school there. I scored an 18 on my ACT, you know. But I love Mizzou.
In all transparency, I'm not a one-upper, but I scored a 16.
Did you really?
And still qualified for the NCAA because I had a great GPA.
Jeez.
How? Well,
Because I'm old, dude.
I failed. I basically, so I'm Mexican, and I failed Spanish 1. And yeah, bro. Yeah.
But look at you guys. Look how good you're doing for yourselves. Look how well you're doing.
Yeah. Well, why? Is he Mexican?
No.
Does he look Mexican?
He's a Mexican.
I'm pure German, Bob.
There's no wrong with that.
Dude, I can't.
So-
He's killing me right now.
So anyway, so that song, I remember when that song came out. I mean, I had goosebumps from that song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With
Can you-
the video in the background.
Can you sing a little bit for
My
us?
son, literally every day on the way to school, sings that song. Like
Yeah?
during the whole season last year. I'm not kidding. Shout out to Gibson.
Gib.
Is that your
Like,
son's name?
Fucking just loves that song.
So where did the get name? Because Gibson guitar is you know.
So some of it was Gibson, kind of Gibson guitar, but my wife over there sent me the name. At first I was like, no, but then, so I'm from St. Louis.
Yeah. What part of St. Louis are you from?
Out west, like Winsville area.
Okay, my mom went to Parkway South.
Okay,
Yeah,
I got you.
My family's from there.
I
yeah.
got you. So I'm a massive Cardinals fan.
Me too,
Bob
yeah.
Gibson, one of the best players that
Yes.
ever played baseball.
Number 1, right?
What's that? What, on his jersey?
Yeah, number 1.
45.
45. He was 45.
45.
Okay.
So that just immediately clicked with me. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
badass. My thing was like, if I'm gonna have a boy, I need to have like a nickname. When he's on the baseball field, what am I gonna yell out there? So like, Gib, come on, Gibby,
Come on, Gib.
come on, Gib, get
Yeah.
over there. So I was like, that's perfect. Let's do it. It's kind of unique, but it's not too crazy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Man, well, that's a great name.
But
first off.
anyway, yeah.
And obviously, like Bob Gibson,
stud.
iconically, probably one of the best Cardinals players of all time.
Yeah,
If
so
not the greatest Cardinals player of all time.
Yeah. So anyway, that song that you wrote was badass, and it resonated with us. That's why you're here. I mean, that's how I discovered you.
You know, and well, thanks for having me out, by the way. I know we were supposed to do this last week, and I was like, "Fuck, I bought a flight," and then
we fucked up.
Yeah, no, it's not your guys' fault at all. I get it. No, I'm glad to be here, and honestly, I'm blessed because you know, I was able to see my family a little bit, you know, and I don't get to see my family very often too. So
Listen, I'm not a Mizzou fan.
It's okay. You're a K-State fan.
I battled against Mizzou.
That's all right.
Shout out to Chase Coffin.
Yeah.
Okay, played
Yeah.
against Chase. Can you just sing a little bit of that for us? I love this song. I love everything about it.
Okay. Well, what would it be?
Just start it off.
7 months. Yeah, I've waited 7 months to wear this tee.
M-I-Z,
yeah, that's my team. And it's like something in them stadium lights. A 2-beer buzz before halftime. It's usually a 6-beer buzz for me.
Yeah.
You know, at least, you know. I
Dude.
get Missouri on my mind.
I'm not a Mizzou fan. Look at my legs.
I love it. Dude.
I got goosebumps. Hey, can we get you to sing one about K-State?
No.
Well, I mean, other than you guys have beautiful women, some cornbread, corn-fed women out there.
And our cattle are fucking lean.
Yep. My
And-
family has
and mean.
My family has Longhorns, and I've learned a lot about cattle. And Manhattan, Kansas has a lot of cattle out there.
For a
man.
guy to sit on a freaking Shure mic on a tee box and sound that good, America, pay attention.
So we asked Roman. I said, "Hey man, what do you like to drink?"
What are
I
we
said,
drinking?
"What are we doing? Bourbon, tequila?" So he said, "Let's do a little reposado."
Is this where you guys give me like you make me take a swig out of the bottle?
No.
No?
I mean-
Okay.
Yeah. That's what-
You've
I
already
ju-
got it in your cup.
I just wanted to present this because one of our sponsors is Macadoodle's liquor store.
Yeah.
Which is a badass spot. I don't know if you've ever been there.
I have. Yeah.
So they've got one in Columbia.
Yeah, I've
they've
been there
got
a few
one.
times.
They've got one right down the road.
Can you toss that bottle over here?
Yeah, but so why don't you take a stab at it? What's the name of that stuff there? Arret?
Tequila.
Tequila.
Arret, yeah. Arret.
Reposado.
Arret, yeah.
From Macadoodles. Pretty smooth. No additives.
A little fresher.
So you don't get that hangover in the morning, you know?
That guy does not fuck around.
What do you think?
That's kind of like a little hint of vanilla in there too.
Okay.
That's nice. That's that's very nice. Yeah.
He chuckled on it. Here, let me have a pull of that shit.
Oh, it's good. I promise. It's got that vanilla little swag.
So what
to
we
it.
do, everybody who comes on, we have them sign the bottle.
Oh, do you?
So
Hell yeah.
we'll have you sign that if we can find a
tequila.
Sharpie.
Fuck, that's good.
It's good. Here's a cap for it too. It's good stuff, man. Yeah.
I've already done that. Damn, that's good. Woo! Look at our beer cart gals.
Thank
Roman,
you.
look at this crowd we have over here.
Hey.
Hi.
What's up?
Dude, have you ever checked out Red Door Grill?
We have a place called in Nashville called Red Door Saloon.
No, it's a local chain here in Kansas City.
Okay. What is it like a restaurant?
It's like a nice upscale sports bar, I'd kind of say.
Oh, I fuck
But
with that. Yeah.
go check it out, man. It's a good spot. So we have our own draft beer. It's called the Huddle Hefeweizen.
Maybe I'll go there tonight.
You know Casey Beer Co., right?
Yeah.
So we collab with Casey Beer Co.
Okay.
They reached out. We reached out. It's kind of one of those deals.
Yeah.
They make a Hefeweizen beer for us, and it's on
Okay.
tap at Red Door. It's also on tap in downtown Lee Summit at International Tap House. Shout out to you guys.
So I need to make my way out there tonight.
You need to make your way out there.
What are you all doing tonight? Y'all partying?
Yeah, we're partying.
Well, where are we at?
I've got a babysitter. Oh, my wife's telling me my posture's bad.
I don't.
Jeez, I can't catch a break.
Thank God for Riley.
My God.
Shout out to Riley.
Shout
Shout
out
out.
Riley.
Yeah, Riley.
Gib, Riley. You know what? Let's just throw Lenny in the
Come
mix.
on, Lenny, get over here.
Listen, we're out on the golf course today. This is obviously not our typical studio.
And random, I want to give a shout out. I don't get to see my family very often, but my sister, who will never give herself enough credit, her name's Elena. She's here with me.
Shout out,
Elena. Elena, shout out.
Is it your birthday?
No, November 6th is her birthday.
Who did I see? I thought you posted somebody's birthday. Maybe I'm.
No, okay, so that y'all get the shout out. She passed paramedic school.
That's what it was.
So she's a paramedic
I'm
now.
sorry.
But my sister, she'll never give herself credit, but my sister did 11 years in the Marine Corps. She was a staff sergeant and multiple combat deployments and
badass.
served with Marine Special Operations.
Well, that all works out.
She was a
this
Marine
whole
Raider.
thing is for veterans.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Listen.
this is-
So now she's a first responder, she's a firefighter and paramedic, and she's I did a podcast and it went viral and it was about her. You know, it was
Really?
really cool. I talked about her and you know, she was one of the first females in the military to ever lead the special operations kind of trail. She's a
Badass.
trailblazer. So, you know, way cooler than I am. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just the black sheep of the family. So
I'll tell you what. I know you're over there in the background right now on this podcast, but you're in the forefront to all of us.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you what. You helped us be able to do stuff like this.
We appreciate you.
Okay.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. And you know what? And that's what this tournament's about, right?
Yeah.
We're here for Veterans Community Project, for the men and women that come back from overseas and here in the homeland, right? That are having troubles getting back into civilian life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And this organization does that.
And I will say, you know, it's amazing that foundations like this exist, because number one, veterans in general need. We were actually talking about this on the way over here. There's a lot of resources for, you know, special operations, and that's amazing, and a little less for just in general military and in general conventional. But the one that I think also too is really near and dear to my heart is the first responders, the police officers, the firefighters, because they're right here in our backyard, and you know, you're not. It's easy to take them for granted because
they don't get as much love.
You
know?
dial 3 digits and they're on their way, and
That's
we're
right.
just like, okay, they're public servants, but at some point I feel like we should return the favor and serve them, and a lot of them are veterans. So
You're right.
Thanks for what you guys are doing here, and you know, that's important.
And you know, it's funny you bring that up. One of my best friends is a sergeant for KC Mo SWAT. Okay. And he's been, I mean, when we were, you know, think back on all the riots down on the plaza.
Yeah.
He was frontline the whole time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That was brutal on him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And whether he agreed or disagreed with the movement, right?
It's hard to see it in your own city.
It's in your own city,
He
man.
still put his life on the line.
He's put his life on the
Yeah.
line. Dude, the guy was telling me everything he had thrown his way, the shots that were going off down there. And you're exactly right, man. Like the first responders, you know, shout out to every single one of you men and women that do that.
And you know, the big thing there is the first responder community. You know, they just, like I said, you call 3 digits and you dial 3 digits and they're on their way, and you know, people can have their RAF with them or whatever they might think, especially the police, but you know, they're there when you need them. They're there when you call them, and it's just a very near and dear thing to my heart is militaries, first responders, and dogs. You know,
Yeah.
anything with dogs. I'm
There you
big
go.
But especially the canines.
The canines, yeah. Oh yeah, man.
Did you see that video of that canine that came back? He retired. He was he was a military service dog, right? And he hadn't seen his handler in like 2 years. And they flew him back on a private flight, and he got to see his handler for the first time in 2 years. And the dog like wept.
It doesn't make me cry or anything, you know.
Oh,
It's
dude, I wept like a little girl.
anything that has to do with dogs, you know, because it's like I'm just a big dog guy. I have a wiener dog, you know, and then I have a American bulldog that I rescued. So
That's awesome.
but I always tell people, I'm like, yeah, I have a wiener, and they're like, no shit, do you? Congratulations. I'm like, dog, wiener dog, you know. I also have a wiener. But,
Does anybody ask you how big?
Oh, it's a big brown wiener.
Jesus.
Yeah. He's brown. But I am Mexican, so it is, like I said, a big brown wiener, you know.
All right, I got to ask something for maybe we get a good clip out of this. But can you come up with like a story on when you've been on tour, like something crazy that's
I
happened?
got to hear this.
Like I want to hear some behind the scenes crazy shit.
University of Iowa.
Oh, he's got one.
Always
Yeah.
Iowa.
University of Iowa.
Those Iowa girls.
Those Iowa girls, little Iowa sorority girls. I was walking out of a bar in Iowa City, and we just got done playing. So the crowd was just rowdy. They were drunk. And a girl was upset because I didn't sign her T-shirt or something. It was something related to not like taking a picture with her or signing. I don't remember. And because earlier in that show, I had slipped in. There was beer on the stage. The opener had left some beer on the stage and spilt it. So I came out guns blazing on a wood floor, brand new cowboy boots that weren't even broken in yet. And I walked out there and just my feet went up first, and I landed on my back. So that's how the show started. How the show ended, though, I walked out, and she was waiting for me, and she must have been a fucking linebacker for Iowa, you know, University of Iowa, the Hawkeyes, because I got tackled. I mean, like brought to the ground, like
That's
full
assault,
on.
brother.
Well, I thought it was funny. Actually, I have an even better story for you. Okay,
Let's hear it.
All right. Sorry, Mom.
Shout out, Mom.
What's your mom's name?
Lisa.
Shout out to Lisa.
Actually, funny. So I have Lisa. I'm a big Elvis fan, and so I have Lisa Marie tattooed on my arm. My mom's name's Lisa Marie, but I got Lisa Marie first, and then I got this pinup girl wearing an Elvis a costume. She's a World War II pinup girl, and people are like, who's the girl? And I literally said Lisa Marie. I was like, oh, my mom. I thought they meant like the name. So people think this girl with the big old booty on her is my mom, tattooed on my arm. But yeah,
awesome.
yeah, not my proudest moment. So I got to figure out how to cover this up some way, shape, or form.
So you're an Elvis fan.
Big Elvis fan.
Can I give you a little Elvis?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Will you rate it?
We're caught in a trap. Yeah, go ahead.
It's kind of like
bring it on, baby.
it's kind of
Yeah.
like the cock rating on OnlyFans, but
Okay.
well, you as a country music
Wait,
like
hang on.
professional.
What did you say about OnlyFans?
I mean, I'm not-
What do you know about OnlyFans?
I don't know nothing
How
about
would you even know that?
it. This is what I've been told. I don't have a subscription.
Did you make one?
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time.
What's
You
that
ain't
face?
nothing but a hound dog, lying all the time. No, you never caught a rabbit, and you ain't no friend of mine.
Give it a solid like 6.
What's the face he's making though during it?
6?
Yeah.
Well, it's because I'm fat. You say you were high class. Well, that was just a lie.
If you're calling yourself fat, then I look forward to getting older because it's not fat, dude.
This is what older looks like,
It's not
sir.
fat.
A little extra love.
Bad knees, fucked up ankles, my back's all jacked up, and I drink every night.
Does that sound that bad?
So was there a story you were going to tell, or was that just the one about your mom?
No. I'll tell you the story.
Okay,
Sorry.
hit us with the good story.
Interrupted.
I'll tell you the story. Okay, so I was a merch guy for Easton Corbin. Sorry, Easton, if I'm telling the story. He wasn't around whenever this happened. We did the NFR, so the National Rodeo in Vegas, and so you get to spend a couple days there partying and having a good time, and they sell the merchandise for you, so you get to go kind of just screw off and have fun. And so I went to a nightclub across the way with a couple buddies, and this beautiful blonde woman comes up to me and starts talking to me. And I thought she was just being friendly, and for an hour and a half I'm talking to her, and at the very end she's like, I was single, and she was like, hey, we should go back to your hotel room. And I was like, part of me was like, well, I'm 22 years old. I'm like, all right, or I'm 21 maybe.
Right.
And so I was like, yeah, that's not sound bad. I got a bottle of whiskey in my room and some vodka and some wine and whatever, And then she's like, okay, well, it's going to cost $3,000.
Oh, shit.
And I had no idea that prostitution was legal in Vegas. And so I was like,
No wonder she liked me so much.
I was kind of innocent, And no, first off, I didn't have $3,000 at 21 years old. I'd never seen that much money in my life. And so I was like, wait, hang on, so you're a hooker? And she's like, well, first off, I'm not a hooker. Don't call me that. I'm a
Escort?
Escort, or whatever she said. Something worker, sex worker, or whatever it might be. And I was like, whatever. I don't have time. She's like, screw this. I don't have time for this. Gets up, walks off. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm sorry. And I felt bad. I didn't want to offend her, but she walked over, and there's these British Air Force guys that were there for a ball. So they're all wearing their British Air Force uniforms.
What's the name of their crew?
RAF.
Is it RAF?
The Royal Air Force. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
And so they were there partying, and they were all really sharp. They all had great accents. So she goes over there. She's a smart woman. She goes over there and starts talking to them. Because if anybody's going to do it, probably those young military guys, right? And so I was drunk. I had drinking a lot of tequila, and I walked over there, and I said, don't do it. It's a scam. It's a scam. She's a scam. In my Trump voice, it's a scam. It's a fantastic scam. So she, sure enough, I walk outside. I'm smoking a cigarette. My buddy. I turn around, and out of nowhere, I'm telling you, the biggest sucker punch to the face.
Holy shit.
I just get decked.
You got clocked.
I wasn't expecting it, so it didn't hurt too bad because I wasn't expecting it. It just happened. You're just like, whoa, you're shocked. Cop comes over, grabs her, and they're like, do you want to press charges?
Oh,
And
it was her.
yeah, it was her. So she got mad that I screwed up her deal. I screwed up her possibility of making money.
Did you press charges?
Well, no, because I said this will make a great story. This is funny.
It is funny.
And so I didn't even know about.
Did you have a black eye or anything?
Nope. I just had my cheeks were probably red or whatever. She kind of hit me square, right between right there. And so I walked into the casino, and I was kind of walked off, didn't think about it. Well, I would assume her pimp,
Right.
and 2 other girls, including her, following me through the casino. And I'm like, I got to get out of here because I'm going to get killed. This guy's going to, I messed with the money. You don't mess, rule number 1.
You
never
never mess
mess
with
with
money.
Number 1 rule, never mess with the money. So I literally sat down at a blackjack table, and blended in, acted like I was playing blackjack, and then I got up and when they passed.
So let me get this right.
Yeah, it was like a movie.
Let's
movie scene.
recap this shit.
Yeah, I got punched in the face by a prostitute.
A prostitute was hitting on
Never have I ever.
some Royal Air Force Special Ops. You broke it up. Save fellow service people, right?
Yeah.
The fact of overpaying.
Yeah.
And she smacked your ass.
Well, don't get this mistaken. Those guys, they come over on leave, and they definitely have some money. So they have some money to spend. They're in Vegas. You know, you don't go to Vegas broke. You go there to have a good time. I went to Vegas broke and did not have a good time. I got punched in the face.
You could have negotiated with her a little bit. 3,000. Everything's negotiable.
Not the art of the deal, my friend. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was cool and all. It was a cool story to tell.
That's awesome.
It's not my mom's favorite story to hear. But
Yeah, I bet so.
I think it's a great story.
But you didn't take.
Oh shit! Fucking just shanked one in the woods. That a boy.
What a loser.
You ain't gonna find that one.
Are you a golfer?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a good golfer.
Yeah, but you golf.
But
We got Cornice Electric up here right now.
shout out to my boys over at Roback. I'm a big Roback guy.
You're a Roback dude.
Yeah, I got a little deal with them, and so
You do?
I do. Yeah,
I'm
those
a
are-
massive Roback
Those
dude.
are my boys. Those are my boys.
Really?
I started wearing Roback in 2019. So whenever my songs came out, they were originally a golf ball company, I think, and
Yeah.
then they had hit me up and they were like, "Hey, do you want to?"
Their shirts are like butter.
Butter.
Literally, you forget you're wearing. You feel naked when you're wearing them.
And shout out. I mean, Robach. I mean, we need an apparel sponsor for the podcast.
Roback, listen. You've got Roman. We've got Roman. We have the same shit going
We've
on
got
right
a
now.
liquor sponsor. We've got a food sponsor.
They've got my back.
We need
some Roback.
We need an apparel sponsor.
They're good dudes, man, and they're very philanthropy driven. So, you know, my sister's doing some first responders golf tournament, and I think the fall, and so I think they're going to send a box out for that. So they're good dudes. They're great guys.
Are they Nashville based?
Shout out to my boy Will over there. No, they're based out of, I believe, Virginia is where they're based.
Okay.
Virginia based.
So they're great company. They're good dudes, and overall they're just a good time. Like when I was on the Sam Hunt tour, they came out and filmed of course the concert series and just kind of followed my day. And we played golf that morning, and I shot well over 100. And
Right.
unfortunately, but they were patient enough. Originally, one of the guys was like, "So why am I out here? If you're shooting over 100, I thought you're a golfer." I'm like, "I never said I was a golfer. I said I liked to Roback." You know?
Right.
I look good.
Yeah.
Watch this
Yeah.
guy. He's going to shank it. There you go. Four
Shout
right.
out. I want to give a shout out to Chris Meyer over at Takeoff Drone Productions.
There he is.
There is no better media guy in the whole country.
Listen.
I'm dead serious.
Listen.
I mean that.
Yeah, I swear to God, he's the best.
So what do you guys do? I
don't even know,
I
dude.
see homes.
I don't know what we do.
I see like real estate.
We
you
don't.
know.
We do this. We do. I don't know.
I know
We sell a few
you-
homes.
Yeah, but not just a few homes. The homes I see are like homes I want to buy. You know.
Yeah. So we're full-time real estate agents. Both of us have our own kind of our own groups here in Kansas
So
City.
how did you guys meet? What was the
we're
deal
in the
there?
same office. We
Okay.
walked by each other one day and
Did you
said,
guys just fucking annoy each other? Or what was the deal?
So here's
Yeah,
how this
pretty
deal
much.
worked. You're going to love this. He walked by my office right before Christmas break. And he goes, "You know what? I think 2024 is my year." I said, "Yeah, me too." And he goes, "Man, I got to do something different." I said, "What do you want to do?" And he goes,
I didn't see it.
"I think I want to do a podcast."
My blue shoes on.
I said, "I've wanted to have a podcast for 4 years." He goes, "Let's do it."
I said, hey, if we're gonna do this thing, we're gonna shoot it at the highest level possible. I'm not doing this bullshit where we shoot it on a webcam in our basement. We're gonna do it at a high level. We're gonna drop the money for the equipment. We're gonna get good guests on.
So listen to this. Next week, him and I got in my truck. Okay, blizzard, plum ass blizzard. Okay,
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
there ain't no one doing shit in January.
Went over to the Guitar
Okay.
Center for lunch.
Him and I walked into
Lots
the
of
guitar.
S&7s,
Actually, we
yeah.
showed up to the guitar Center an hour early because they have winter hours in Independence. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we sat in the truck for 45 minutes.
Game plan. Talked about your whole vision.
Game plan. Actually, we already ordered it online. We just had to pick the shit up.
Damn. So you guys dropped a pretty penny because SM7s are not cheap.
We spent $5,000
Fuck.
just on this.
First off, I have a Guitar Center Pro account, so next time call me. I'll
Damn
get
it.
you half off, I think.
Oh shit, we fucked up.
We fucked that up. But I'm telling you what, and this is not like we're terrible with this, okay? Because we don't tap ourselves in the back. Because as real estate agents, we don't do that, right? Since we started this January 1, okay? It is now May the 17th. and we've had over 10 million views on our social media platforms.
You know what? It is a. I'll tell you this. I've done a lot of podcasts, and the ones I've always had the most fun on are when I just get to shoot the shit and talk. You know, if you can make it past 20 podcasts, you're in the 0.1%. Most podcasts don't make it past their first episode because they don't get views, right?
Right.
And they're like, okay, I quit. It's like putting out music.
100%.
You have to. It's like going on tour too. You have to keep doing it, and it's all about the little movements, little victories.
And this is what I told Kayla when we first started. I go, let's not even. I go, when are we going to look at our performance and our benchmark? I go, I don't even think we should even look at this thing until 2 years in.
You look at.
I go 2 years in. Let's look at it and say, where are we?
When it starts monetizing is when you go, okay, it's a business now.
Right.
And to me, it's not just monetary money. It's views count as monetary value now, and so because that's what you're equating. It's putting a value on something because
100%.
you get followers and whatnot. And honestly, podcasts are the future. And I'm an avid podcast listener. I used to listen to audiobooks. Now I listen to podcasts. And it's a great way to gather knowledge, get other people's opinions. And if you don't like it, fucking listen to another podcast.
Gotcha.
That's right.
Who's it? Go ahead.
But I'm going to give him a shout out.
Yeah.
Okay, because all this stuff, man, you ask, like, what do we do? Right? I run a real estate team. He runs a real estate team. This guy right here, the Holmes Group, has the most social media followers out of any real estate agent in the entire Kansas City Metro. And people don't know that, okay? But this guy does. And so, dude.
It's fun. I enjoy it. That helped us kind of.
Have you bought yourself your Rolex yet?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm kind of a humble guy. I'm wearing stuff from Old Navy right now.
No, I feel you,
so
dude.
I don't give
you.
a shit about that.
And you don't need to, because it's usually given to you.
Yes.
I feel like every watch I've ever had is just like a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who should we have on next?
My watch doesn't even work.
Who's a guy that we should have on?
I'll tell you who you should have on next. He's a buddy of mine. His name's Darian Thomas.
Where's he?
His dad's Derek Thomas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, famous Chiefs player.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. He played for Mizzou.
Yeah.
But man, honestly, I think you could. The cool part about reaching a mass audience is just having a collective of people on. That's what I love about Joe Rogan. He's got scientists on one day. He's got a comedian on. He's got Jocko Willink on the next day.
Yeah, because you're our first musician. We've had all sports guys.
First
mostly
musician.
sports guys.
Hell yeah.
So,
man, I'm a fan of just getting to know people, build contacts, because I feel like we can have the same we could have the same conversation without being on camera and having microphones in front of us based on this conversation we just had, just asking questions and getting the answer to it. So
yeah.
Hell yeah.
I love it, man. Well, we really appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, man. Thanks
Open mic. Tell us what you want. Hey, but before you do open mic, Macadoodles.
Yeah.
Okay. Red Door Grill and iTap. Without them, you got a special guest there.
Looks like you got some fans coming over.
You got fans.
Big fan.
The beer cart girls. Look at them. There they are.
Stationary girls.
Jesus, Roman.
He's got a girlfriend. Jeez.
He's got a girlfriend.
Cool it.
I'm married.
Tone it back.
That's all right.
We have it's fine.
It's okay.
They're
It's all
married.
good. It's all right.
We're married.
Hey, there's nothing better than the touch of a
But
female. It's all
Nothing
good.
better than sisters, right?
They're
Amen.
sisters.
Amen.
They're sisters. And they're not even on salary.
This reminds me of being on tour.
I love
Jesus.
it.
I'm joking.
But hopefully one of them doesn't punch you.
Yeah, your sister. I told her I was
How much you want?
Downtown Lee Summit. It's no problem. Are you recording, Michael?
Salad bar.
Yeah.
For downtown days.
Oh my God. Please come home for downtown days.
Please.
What is downtown days?
Caleb,
Downtown Lee
you
Summit,
know
talk
downtown
to us.
days?
It's coming up here.
June.
The
What?
weekend of June.
You need to
7th.
sing.
7th.
Hey, give us one more time before we exit out here. Give us that MIZ again.
What do you? You want the chant or you want the song?
No, give me the song. Give it to us
shit.
again.
Oh, all right. I'm not good.
It's
Turn it back up, Bill.
7 months. Yeah, I've waited 7 months to wear this tee. MIZ, yeah, that's my team. Yeah, there you go.
God, is he not the best?
I love it.
Guys, you're watching the Huddle Podcast. Roman Alexander right here.
Where can we find you?
Just Roman Alexander music on just Roman Alexander music and Roman Alexander official.
That's your handle and everything?
Yeah, TikTok is Roman Alexander music too. So it's just all across.
Hey, yeah, go find him, man. Support a local guy, Kansas City, man.
Yeah, man.
We'd love to see it continue to grow, and Really appreciate you coming out.
Thanks
for
having
being
me.
here, brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
MIZ.
Seriously. Is he over here?
Go Cats.